as a child, I was really, really interested in weird things, really strange things. I think most autistic children go through this, and I find it really fascinating just to see what other people are were sort of like obsessed with as a child, because I don't think you'll ever get a child that's the same as another. It's just, yeah, it's all. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. I've just been going through loads of my childhood obsessions and sort of special interests, and I just want to share some of them. Yeah, just for fun. Most of the videos that I've been making so far on this channel, it's a very new channel. They're all very serious. Alcohol addiction, shutdowns, and I just wanted to do something a little bit more lighthearted. So, right, when I was really little, when I was about 3, this is the first sort of real hyperfixation I know about. My parents were getting a new kitchen. My dad was building it. Right, so my dad was an engineer, very good at DIY stuff like that, and he was building a new kitchen, and I was about 3 years old at the time, and I was so obsessed with it. Every single day I would wake up first thing in the morning, run into my parents' room, and say, "Come on, Dad, let's go build." And my mum loved it because she said it's the quickest my dad's ever actually done anything, because I would not let him rest. So every single thing he was, doing something, I'd be in front of him with a plastic screwdriver, pretending to do everything he's doing. I was just absolutely obsessed with it. And from that year, they bought me a children's toolkit for Christmas, and that was it then. I would just walk around the house just trying to fix everything I could, and I think I was a bit of a pain in the ass, but hey, I grew up to be an engineer. It was just, yeah, it was great, and my parents nurtured that, and yeah, I think that's quite a funny memory. Right, anyway, so that was kind of like 3 years old, and then around 4 to 6, I've given these rough ages from what I think they were, but give or take a few years, and there might be some overlap. But so between 4 and 6, dinosaurs. Now, this isn't like, I really, like Jurassic Park, and I wanted a dinosaur coat and I wanted a dinosaur bag to go to school. No, this was, I wanted dinosaur encyclopedias, and I wanted to learn everything about every single dinosaur. I just wanted to know everything, and this is quite a common theme, I think, with autistic people in general. And I think this is where it goes between, this is something I really like, and this is a hyperfixation. It's the needing to know absolutely everything about it. So the dinosaurs were a great one, and I remember constantly, looking at them all and thinking, right, which one's my favourite? Because you always have to have a favourite, right? Which one's my favourite? And it was T-Rex is too, it's the biggest, it's too popular. So, yeah, the Allosaurus, that one was slightly smaller than the T-Rex, and I thought that was, maybe the underdog, and so I kind of liked that. But I really liked Velociraptors as well, obviously. So yeah, that went on for a long time. And then around 6, 7, 8, something like that, there was a film called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. What was that? There was a film called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which was made in 1968, and it was about an inventor who made a car which was like half car with a boat's body, and it could turn into a boat, it could fly. Anyway, I was obsessed with it. I videotaped it and watched it every single day after school for a year. My mum must have thought I was a mental person, but genuinely I loved that car, and I used to make models of it, like paper mache models, and paint them and all sorts of stuff. And we actually went to a garden centre once and saw one of the real cars, and I thought my head was going to explode. So that was great. And my sister used to hate it because she was scared of the child catcher, little wimp. but he is creepy, to be fair. Anyway, I flipping loved that film. Right, and then, so moving on a bit, 8 to 10-ish, I got really obsessed with Bruce Lee. Martial arts in general, all of Bruce Lee's films are, I loved it. I just wanted to be Bruce Lee. Oh, hang on a minute, I've missed one. I think between Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Bruce Lee, there was absolutely a time when I was quite little that I was obsessed with monkeys. And this is similar to the dinosaur thing, where I needed to know every single thing about monkeys, primarily the great apes, right? The 4 great apes, excluding Homo sapiens. And I just, yeah, again, it was just like encyclopedias and reading and knowing facts. Like howler monkeys, you can hear their howl from up to 2 miles away. I still know that, right, from reading it as a kid. So yeah, and we went to a zoo once, and I was they done a monkey demo. They had like squirrel monkeys or something like that, and they were throwing them grapes and they were catching them, and it was all very entertaining. And the zookeeper was asking questions to everyone about the monkeys, and I was stood right at the front, and I was putting my hand up and answering every single question. Really, really proud of myself, and everyone was laughing, you know, sort of not in an unkind way, just at how enthusiastic I was about it, and my parents thought it was really funny as well, and I was just this little know-it-all, but I loved it. I was absolutely obsessed with monkeys and apes, and I don't know how else to say it other than I was absolutely convinced I wanted to be an ape. I really think I was. Anyway, and then I'm getting a bit older now, a bit more sophisticated. So Bruce Lee, that was the thing, and all of his films, and I started doing karate, and later on kickboxing as well. So I've always been into martial arts, but there was just something about Bruce Lee and his films and everything. I just was obsessed with it, and that developed into the Shaolin monks as well. And I just used to watch everything I could on the Shaolin monks, the way they lived. I'd just get books on Buddhism and just everything. I was just absolutely fascinated by them, and I still am to an extent. But it got to a point where my dad actually bought me tickets to go and see them in London, and that blew my mind. Even to this day, I just can't believe I saw them doing the sort of stuff that they do live. Absolutely incredible. So that went on for a long time, and I was really in all sort of martial arts and combat and stuff like that. And there was a time as well where I was really obsessed with Rambo, and that was another thing. That was around the same sort of time, and I really wanted his knife, right? But I was like a 10-year-old kid. I can't just get Rambo's knife. So I made one out of cardboard, and I used to wear it around the house and pretend I was Rambo. Anyway, then when I was getting a bit older, sort of 12, 14, I developed this obsession with Michael Jackson, right? Behave. It was the dancing, right? So I used to learn all of his dance routines. And I got some DVDs for Christmas or something like that, and I used to freeze frame, go through them and learn every single move. I did that with Bruce Lee as well. His sort of combat patterns and stuff, I would go through and copy them from the DVDs. I was really, really obsessed with that, and I ended up just being like this sort of young teenage Michael Jackson impersonator, and but of course I was too shy and anxious and just weird to show anyone other than my parents. But I was really good. And there was another one as well, Ace Ventura. The Ace Ventura films, so good. I watched them. This was again around, I don't know, 12, something like that. I watched both of those films just constantly, and to the point where I could impersonate and reenact almost every scene from the films. And again, that was another thing that my parents just thought was hilarious, but never showed anyone because it was just too weird. Right. So yeah, and then I guess going into my sort of normal teens, that was when karate, done that for a few years. And then that's when, you know, it becomes not really like childhood, it becomes a bit less innocent, and you know, that's when I started drinking, and yeah, you know, it all just gets a bit dark from there on in. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. I just thought it'd be really funny to share those. I would love to hear if anyone has had similar sort of special interests as a child, or if anyone has children that is autistic and going through these sort of things. Yeah, thanks, I think. Okay.